With the Chicago Bulls taking a bad loss against the Detroit Pistons last night, we have found out more news surrounding Bulls guard Lonzo Ball that I find not very fascinating. We're going to talk about that. We're going to get into last night's game versus the Detroit Pistons, and we're going to look ahead to tonight's game versus the Cleveland Cavaliers. Y'all know we're going to talk about it and break it down, but you got to hear the music first. Cognac, gang. Shy Boys Podcast with the Cognac Boys. I'm Cognac Boy Bobby, and I'm holding it down for today's episode of Shy Boys Podcast. If you tuned in with me, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell as well. Now, before we get into that horrible loss versus the Detroit Pistons last night, we got to talk about the updated news regarding Lonzo Ball. Lonzo Ball has suffered yet another setback in his rehab for the knee that he went down for. The knee injury that has kept Lonzo Ball out for 2 calendar years. The cartilage transplant that we knew was virtually damn near really impossible to come back from. There's very, very slim chances to come back from with an injury like that, with a surgery that took place like that. We know there has been some cases to where players were able to come back, but that's only like 2 out of the many players that have gone through such a surgery like Lonzo Ball. I believe there was a hockey player that done it once, and then there was a soccer player. Those 2 guys were able to return after some extensive time out of their respective sport. And it looks like Lonzo Ball is going to continue to be out for some time. I'm not a doctor, so I'm not going to jump ahead of the gun, but it is I said it was concerning. I said that I didn't have much hope that Lonzo Ball will return as a Chicago Bull. I was pretty much concerned about, can Lonzo Ball live his everyday life without feeling any pain? That's all I really care about. I'm not going to get my hopes up in saying that Lonzo Ball is going to return and the Chicago Bulls are going to hit new heights. I'm not going down that road again. We've been here before. We've been told that Lonzo Ball was set to return. Then there was setback after setback after setback regarding Lonzo Ball's injury. So as of right now, we should just continue to press on with the Chicago Bulls team that we have and hope that Lonzo Ball can eventually return to what he loves to do, basketball. But if not, we just hope that he's able to live a healthy life. That's it. That's all. Now, when you talk about what has been said from head coach Billy Donovan in regards to Lonzo Ball, he said regarding Lonzo Ball that Lonzo Ball is doing some shooting, some running, some jumping. He hasn't done any sprinting yet that I know. They talked about that, which they talked about the sprinting, was kind of the goal and a set point. Setback in January. It's February 28th now, and Lonzo Ball is still not doing so. Billy Donovan went on to say, I do think the one thing that has been a priority right now, so he does not get setback, is he needs to develop more strength in his leg. Because of him having that surgery and being off of his leg so long before he's really able to ramp up, I think they want him to get to a place physically that relates to his quad strength. I don't want to say it's a holdup, but that's where they want to get him to. In terms of what he's doing, he's feeling better. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Lonzo Ball is feeling better, but he's still not able to sprint. Again, temper your expectations with all this. Just take it for what it is, and that's just how we going to live with it. That's it. You know what I'm saying? We hope Lonzo Ball can return to basketball, but me personally, I don't tell others how to feel, but me personally, I would see Lonzo Ball when the Bulls say Lonzo Ball is ready to return. Until then, I won't be speculating. I won't be getting my heads up. I will be focusing on the current team that we have, and that's how we're going to proceed with that. Leave your comments on that below. Let me know your thoughts. But hey, did the Chicago Bulls take the Pistons for granted last night? Absolutely. They did. The Chicago Bulls had a spectacular first half. I wouldn't say spectacular, but it was definitely a solid first half from the team. And then the second half, the Bulls were completely outplayed. During the live call, if you tune in with us, make sure you hit the like button and hit the notification button because we do live calls talking about the Chicago Bulls game. C-Dub is giving play-by-play. Big Kev is providing the stats throughout the game and around the league. Me, Steve-O, Big Kev, and C-Dub, we're all giving our viewpoints of what's currently happening in the game. So make sure you tune in because last night, right when the game started, me, C-Dub, and Steve-O brought up the point that the night before, the Pistons were pretty much cheated out of a game. That's just my personal opinion. I'll let you guys decide on that. In their game versus the New York Knicks, to a head coach Monty Williams had to go to the podium, let some off against the officiating that game and what happened to end that game and just ask for a fair chance. And me and Steve-O pretty much alluded to that the Pistons were going to be ticked off coming into this game, and they have been playing much better as of late. You know what I'm saying? And the Chicago Bulls, they played down to their competition. The Chicago Bulls, they came out lackadaisical in that second half. Third quarters continue to haunt the Chicago Bulls. The Pistons, on the other end, entered this game last night as the worst defensive rating team in the NBA with 119.8, and the Bulls were terrible. What you can't believe is that the Chicago Bulls finished 2 for 29 from three-point range. The second worst shooting performance from three-point range in NBA history. Yes, you heard it. The second worst shooting performance from three-point range in NBA history. In the second half, the Chicago Bulls outscored 55-40. They looked like they had no answers. The shots weren't falling. And it's kind of like we got to get it together coming out of halftime. What the hell is being said in the locker room at halftime to where the Bulls are always coming out and finding themselves dry, lackadaisical, not showing the same effort that they showed in the first half for most parts of the games this season, or the Bulls find themselves falling in deficits and then having to climb out of those deficits, and then they eventually fizzle out and flame out and not be able to get wins. The Chicago Bulls, we mapped out the games that are ahead of them. The games that are ahead of them and how these guys continuously are taking these opportunities for granted. You know what I'm saying? The Chicago Bulls, let's just keep it and state it for what it really is. They take these games for granted. I don't know if we got to start talking about Billy Donovan and the minutes that has been given to Kobe White, to what we've seen Kobe White reach new heights and he's coming back down to earth. Is that mostly on Billy Donovan with the crazy amount of minutes that he's playing DeMar DeRozan, who leads the NBA, and then Kobe White, who's second in the NBA in minutes played this season? We have to start talking about that. We have to figure this thing out. But unfortunately, it's just not enough leeway for the rest of the season for the Chicago Bulls to figure it out. You got to come out here. I'm going off what DeMar DeRozan told me. It's a brawl right now. And in last night's game, the Chicago Bulls got beat up. That's what it is. Now, looking on to tonight, the Chicago Bulls face the Cleveland Cavaliers, who they haven't beaten in a very long time. In a while. And at some point, bro, we got to talk about Billy Donovan having to trust his young players to play extended minutes. I understand you're giving minutes to Dalen Terry. You're giving minutes here and there to Julian Phillips. But at some point, bro, you got to take your pressure off your young guy and Kobe White. You got to take some pressure off your seasoned vet in DeMar DeRozan. Allow those guys to rest a little bit during the game, so when it's time to go after the win that's always in the reach for the Chicago Bulls on most nights. These guys have the legs to get it done because The Cleveland Cavaliers right now are at the top of the Eastern Conference, and they are feeling themselves, and they have a lot of ammunition over there on their side of the basketball. And Billy Donovan still decided to go out and play these guys crazy minutes last night. I expect these guys to come out and play crazy minutes again tonight. And how's it going to turn out? I don't know. The Chicago Bulls, after bad losses, they typically come out and surprise us with a huge win. We just seen them have a bad loss against the Boston Celtics, then turn around and have a very impressive win versus New Orleans Pelicans. So is that what we're going to allude to? Is that what we're going to come to? One bad game for one good game. I tell you this, if the Chicago Bulls continue to play around like that, I can't even come out and I can't even say it with conviction. They'll be out of the playoffs. Guys, it's the play-in. They will be there. I believe the Chicago Bulls will, no matter what, be in the play-in. So I can't even come out and give you guys that, but I can say that if the Chicago Bulls don't come out in that second half and handle business, it's going to get ugly early in the third quarter for them. We know how it's been for the Chicago Bulls versus the Cleveland Cavaliers this entire time. And it's hard to say, y'all. It's really, really difficult to say. But that's just what it is. Typically, the Bulls play these guys tough. You know what I'm saying? A lot of the times they get whooped. They haven't beaten these guys in a while. So that's just what it is, man. That's just what it is. So just prepare yourself, temper your expectations. Just come on alive, get ready to have some fun. And whether the Bulls win or lose, we still going to be sitting there rocking with y'all. That's going to be the best part of tonight, whether the Bulls win or not. Now, if the Bulls go out and win, I'm all for it. But at the end of the day, we just got to take it for what it is at this point. No point in constantly beating a dead horse. No point in constantly saying the same thing over and over and over and over again. But hey, that's it for me, y'all. Couldn't get to you guys this morning, so I came in and dropped this afternoon. I hope to see you guys later this evening when the Chicago Bulls face off against the Cleveland Cavs, and hopefully we can root this team and will them on to a victory. But that's it for me, y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in to another episode of Shy Bulls Podcast. I'm going to catch y'all on the next one for sure.
Cognac. Gang.